So apparently, in, I don't know, about 10 minutes, we're supposed to get our eyes on a brand new NERF limited release blaster, and they have said that this is about Halo. Now, that could be a lot of things. It could just mean we're getting the actual Halo MA40 from NERF that we should have got to begin with at a higher markup, but with a lot more features. However, since I don't know what it is because the information has not been released yet, I figured we could have a little bit of fun before I actually get to see what it is. And I'm going to make a couple of wish list items here. One, hopefully we get something along the lines of a new Covenant weapon, because they've done a lot of stuff for the actual Marines and Master Chief and stuff like that, but we haven't gotten anything from the Covenant. And I'm really hoping that this blaster does something new that we haven't seen before. And I'm also hoping that this blaster fires either Hyper, Ultra, or Mega XL and isn't just another generic dart shooter. Or maybe I'd even accept Rival at this point, but who knows, they might be trying to kill off Rival. Now, so far in the NERF Limited line, we had the Ambin Phase Pulse Blaster Mandalorian Rifle thing, which was announced last year, got delayed back in September, and then when it got delayed, they announced a cheaper version that's essentially the same shell, just with less paint job, less lights and sounds, and understandably, people were pretty upset about that, because had it launched when it was supposed to launch, and then we would have found out like 2 weeks later that this cheaper version was coming out, you'd feel pretty ticked. And of course, the NERF Aliens Pulse Rifle, which is another limited release, that doesn't come out until next freaking year around this time. And there's also been teased by Bungie that there's going to be a NERF limited release of the Gallarhorn freaking rocket launcher from Destiny. However, they have not said anything else, and I'm still waiting for confirmation on that. So the fact that this is a Halo one, I mean, Bungie made Halo, but then Bungie doesn't make Halo. Now 343 Industries makes Halo, and Bungie made Destiny, which is kind of pretty much Halo, but RPG. I'm really curious to see what we get with this, but that's my goals. I'm hoping it's a Covenant weapon. I'm hoping it fires one of the new ammo types, and I'm hoping it does at least one thing mechanically or electronically different than any other blaster before it. Okay, so are we gonna do 10 minutes of jerking ourselves off over the previous blasters that aren't out yet?
And we wanted to bring them. We launched the Star Wars Mandalorian Ambin Phase Pulse Blaster. Sure, this is clear. NERF Limited. These blasters are only planned to be available during the pre-order.
Lies!
As of now, we have no plans to have these premium items available through traditional retail channels.
He's lying!
If you want these things, go get them now.
He's straight up lying!
And the pre-order is open. Okay.
Thanks, Pete. So when we think about one of the most iconic video game franchises, our mind immediately goes to Halo.
No, I can think of literally 10 other franchises off the top of my head. Here's an ad for Halo.
No matter what version you're playing or what
I mean, I'm really hoping it's a Needler that fires like hyper rounds. That'd be pretty cool. Purple hyper rounds. It's one of my favorite weapons. Too bad it like mostly sucked. I thought it might be the Needler. I should have said that. I said Covenant, but I thought it'd be the Needler. It's gotta be a hopper. It's gotta be a hopper.
We will have some amazing effects with the blaster. Why don't we take a closer look at the NERF Limited Halo Needler?
From NERF Limited and the legendary video game franchise Halo comes the iconic Needler blaster.
Okay.
With design inspired by the one in Halo Infinite.
Cool.
This premium special edition blaster includes a touch sensor to light up needles.
Don't care.
A 10-dart
Already hate it.
Elite darts. Fully motorized blasting.
You know,
A Forerunner inspired stand to showcase the display mode lighting effects, and comes in NERF Limited premium packaging. The new NERF Limited Halo Needler Blaster.
it's a speed swarm. It's another dart blaster. I mean, I get it, because it's like, oh, it shoots needles, so let's make it shoot darts. But
we need a good capacity, and with that we have a 10 dart elite drum in this. We've got
like another another 65 to 70 FPS blaster.
We think that this thing,
A speed swarm.
you know, and we're bringing back the speed swarm mechanism from the old dark tag.
Oh, who called it?
For this Covenant alien-inspired design.
I might care more if it wasn't already done by BOOMco. I'm not saying the BOOMco one was better. I'm just saying if I was Mr. Cosplay Guy, I could have bought the cosplay version, and if I wanted one that fired dirts, I could just buy the BOOMco version. The big moment. It's a Nerf blaster, but we're not gonna show it firing yet. Big moment, biggest moment, big moment. We're gonna show you it lighting up.
On the blaster. Look at that.
Do the needles go down as it fires?
It's incredible.
That's pretty.
BOOMco's did.
That's me.
All right, let's bring the lights back on.
Honestly, that didn't even look that good.
You sure you want the lights back on for this?
You're right, Isaiah. So with that next, with the blasting feature, we have an awesome sequence that we'd love to show you.
Okay.
We can actually bring the lights back.
Want to really zoom in on the needles. This is gonna be awesome.
All right. Mike, why don't you talk us through? Of course, I've got the glasses on to make sure we're safe. So why don't you talk us through the lighting effects that we worked through to make sure that this really feels like a game?
Yeah, we really wanted to make it easy doing, so as you can see,
The blaster we've got.
It comes with a stand.
We'll have two modes.
That's an extra
We'll have the
$30 added to the
soft,
cost.
functioning blaster, fully motorized, and of course.
How much do they want for this? I'm.
Display mode with 2 hours of.
It
light
can't.
time before
$100
firing. From
max.
there, if you'd like to keep,
$100
illuminated,
max.
just go ahead and give the
Speed Swarm was like 30, maybe 40. I know the Power Bell was like 40.
Yes, me. There's nothing cooler than that. So.
I can think of 70 things that are cooler than that. They know they're selling it to nerds like me that are never gonna open the blaster.
Wow, guys.
They're gonna put it behind them
Mike, I know
on a
you've been doing
wall
this thing for over 3 years, so I'm especially happy for you.
so they can sell it to all like 6 of us.
Like I said, as
No
always,
price?
It's Nerf for nothing.
No price. Go buy now, but we're not gonna tell you how much it costs. And then it's straight off into the video game that isn't on PC, so I don't care about it. Get like a Google News? I'm sure the news came up. Yep, 8 minutes ago. Could have saved myself a bunch of time. Hefty price tag, $100. Thank you, frickin' GameSpot. Didn't even have to watch the video. All right, glasses off. You gotta be real with me. I honestly, I have to know. Are you excited for this? I thought, like this morning waking up, it was gonna be the Needler. There's so, whoa. Like it makes sense, right, to make the Needler fire darts, but Nerf has all these different ammo types and they do virtually nothing with them. And the Needler would probably be the perfect example of a blaster that, while it may be obvious to shoot darts, there's so much more that could be done with the Needler to make it a better type of Nerf blaster. So, it was a Covenant weapon and it looks really good. I'm not gonna complain about that. The touch-sensitive lighting thing is whatever. I personally don't care, because if I wanted a cosplay piece, this is a blaster that has tons of different options. And even if I wanted a cosplay piece that shot darts, there's already the BOOMco one. I'm not excited. This is another one of those blasters that I kind of talked about previously, where Hasbro does a thing, but they don't put the love that I would expect into this. The lighting effects was a prototype, but they honestly looked really poor and bad, even compared to the BOOMco one. I mean, at least with the BOOMco one, you could literally take the darts off and load them into the blaster and fire them. And if you really wanted to have the accurate, like, needles, people were selling, like, silicone needles that you could put on the top of it that would look just as good. The lights didn't make a whole lot of sense. The demo unit fired horrendously, but, guess what about that one? That's typical Speed Swarm Power Bell velocities and fire rates. It is an AEG, technically, but, The Speed Swarm / Power Bell are not exactly great blasters. You can't really modify them all that well. Motor system and gearing just weren't that good inside of them, and since the person literally said, we took the Speed Swarm and put it into a thing, I can assume that it's going to be virtually the same internals. And they want $100 for it. Let me take a quick second here. BOOMco Halo Needler. How much do you cost? I can get one on eBay for 25 ducats. I know, I'm gonna get comments that are like, you should be happy. I love it. I want 4 of them. I'm gonna pre-order a bunch of them. I can dual wield it. I can do all these things. Dual wielding's funny because I'm almost certain you can't do that in the game since they removed that a long time ago, which was about the time I stopped playing Halo, ironically enough. What I probably would have liked better, even if they were doing the Needler, was it could have been basically a reshell of like the Mach 100. You have plenty of room there to put a flywheel cage, put a hopper that you can load into it, still have the needles and do all that cool stuff. You could maybe even make like some kind of magazine or something, and like especially in the bottom of the blaster where that big huge section I assume is gonna hold, God, 4 C-cell batteries at least, maybe 6 now, but it could have been a lot better. I don't know. I'm very disappointed. This is not cool. They should have just done the Halo MA40, but with all the features you would expect, and made a cool blaster, and instead of this, which I don't really care for, and you'll have to let me know if you care, because I certainly don't. I'm perfectly happy with my Speed Swarms and Power Bells, and I'm still happy with my BOOMco Needlers. Is it worth it for $100? Is Walcom going insane? Let me know down in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Walcom S7. If you got all the way to the end, you probably like what I do here, or you probably freaking hate me, so leave a like or dislike. Consider subscribing. Ring the bell, so when my videos first pop up, you can dislike or like them. Be one of the first to do that. And otherwise, I'll see you in an entirely different video.
You gotta